Carol Danvers is plagued with visions. You could call them dreams. They come at night, but she doesn't think of them as dreams. Dreams are make-believe. They're fake. They're your wildest fantasies that could never come true. Carol's visions aren't dreams because they're real. So real it hurts. It's like looking in a mirror, other versions of herself, other lives she was meant to live. In one of these visions, Carol sees herself as a hero, taking out the bad guys with a smile on her face. Or sometimes she's riding the back of a pterodactyl, soaring through the sky without a care in the world. Sometimes she's a fighter pilot, sometimes a superhero. These visions are all so different, but they always have one thing in common. One thing she knows she was born to do. My name is Carol Danvers, and I was meant to fly. At least, that's what she tries to convince herself. In reality, she's nothing more than a slave girl on a planet of mud, wasting away in chains, grounded in the dirt. Carol knows that in reality, nothing good was meant to fly. In this universe, the world is ruled by mutants of the Hellfire Church. These are the rich, the greedy, and the ruthless who spend their days hunting every creature who dares to fly. What a lovely day for slaughter! Bless the Phoenix! Carol was born in a cottage in the shadow of the Hellfire Castle. She never knew her parents, not that they were worth knowing. Just some other lost souls who lived, died, and suffered in service to their queen goddess, the Dark Phoenix. The world worships the Phoenix, and the skies are hers alone. The privilege to fly is reserved for the Phoenix. To fly is to blaspheme, so taking to the skies is forbidden to all creatures. Every Sunday, the members of the Hellfire Church worship their god by blasting every bird out of the sky with hunting rifles, and no intelligent life form would dare attempt flight, lest they face the wrath of the church, killed as sinners. The lords and ladies of the church hunt these birds, forcing their slaves to pick up the carcasses. Move, dog! Gather up my kills! The church will, of course, feast on the hunted beasts. After a few days of gorging in their fat, rich mouths, they'll toss the rotting scraps to the slaves. But Carol doesn't eat their conquests. She has never eaten anything that flies. I have a different sort of hunger. Carol climbs from the dirt and lunges toward her abusive master, filled with rage toward her plight, her servitude, and to the universe. Carol beats the mutant relentlessly. This isn't the first time she's lashed out, so she has no idea why they haven't killed her yet, though it's not for lack of trying. Ah! Got a rabid dog here! Carol is stronger than anyone she knows, and she has no idea why. She can take a beating like none of the other slaves. A good thing, too, considering her streak of insubordination. How dare she interrupt our service! Carol takes the butt of a gun to her jaw. The Hellfire Church knocks her to the mud, beating and stomping on her relentlessly in the name of their goddess. When they've had their fill, they toss her into a cave, a pit in the middle of the street where all the residents of the city can watch her cower. The other slaves hate Carol as much as the Hellfire Church does. They think she's some sort of witch, some freak. Truth is, she wishes she was a witch. She wishes she was the thing they all fear she is. But she knows what she really is. She knows she is nothing. Carol has been attached to this ball and chain because, a few years ago, she committed the ultimate crime. She obeyed her visions. She tried to live out the destiny she believed she had. Carol crafted a flight suit with makeshift wings and climbed to the peak of the city's tallest tower. With a smile, she leapt into the sky, trying to fly like some sort of Greek myth. And I did! For one beautiful moment, she flew. She soared over the clouds in bliss. But the church quickly spotted her. They raised their rifles, as they do each Sunday, and shot Carol from the sky. Carol plummeted back to Earth in failure. I've been chasing that feeling ever since. Every single night, she tries. Down in her pit, she leaps into the air, hoping this is the time she'll once again fly like the winds. But every night, she fails. I'm not strong enough yet. Not like the other Carols in my visions. Some nights, the failures turn to frustration, and that frustration wins out. Carol lies on the floor, helplessly admitting that her visions are just dreams. Carol spends her life worrying that she is wrong, that nothing is meant to fly, that to fly is to fall. To fly is to die screaming. The next day is just like the last, and just like the one before. The church hunts the devilish beasts who dare to fly, breaking the laws of the Phoenix. Truly, birds must be the most moronic creatures ever born.
Severely. Every week we punish them for their sins, but still, the fools try to fly. Some beasts just never learn, do they?
The mutants order their slave girl to pick up the spoils of their successful hunt. Carol wades through the mud, shoving the carcasses into a basket. But behind a patch of tall grass, she finds something that gives her hope. 3 baby birds, motherless and chirping for help. Carol is somehow able to sneak them into her pit without the church ever finding out. She's buried 100 feet down, but the little chirps of these chicks carry throughout the town. Shh, not so loud. They hear you, you're dead. And I'll just be another dog, dragging your bodies out of the weeds. Carol returns to her primary focus, flight. Just like she does every single night, she lifts the boulder attached to her neck onto her back and leaps into the air. And just like every night, she falls pathetically into the mud. The chicks peck at her gruel as she motivates herself for one more try. Higher, further, faster. Say it with me, little guys. But of course, she fails. After many, many more failed attempts, she gets some sleep. Carol's awakened by the sounds of her new friend's peeps. Thought I told you guys to keep it. Carol groggily looks up, but what she sees next slams the sleep from her eyes. The birds. They're flying. Oh no, 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 no. Not now. It's dawn. Somebody's gonna... It's too late. They've taken to the skies, escaping from her pit. And they've been spotted.
Sinners! I see sinners in the air! There they are! Open fire!
Carol watches helplessly as the mutants raise their rifles toward her new friends. Her only friends. They prepare to fire in the name of the Phoenix. A burning rage gives Carol a strength she'd never before felt. She digs her fingers into the walls of her pit, crawling by hand to freedom. She launches that boulder, the symbol of her oppression, into a crowd of church members before they open fire. Carol attacks them, the men who have kept her in subjugation and threatened her friends. Carol knows she has no chance. She knows this flight wasn't meant to last far, just far enough to fall even harder. More men race to the streets, guns drawn and pointed at her face. After this, Carol knows that her boulder is about to become a lot heavier. But she doesn't care. She watches her new friends fly in peace, making like the carols of her visions. Her smile fades when a mutant fires a rifle directly at her neck. Carol stumbles for a moment in shock. I'll just be stuck here in the mud forever. Carol reaches up to her neck. The chain! They shot right through the chain. Carol is free. She feels the power coursing through her body, the power shared with her visions. Without second thought, she shoots into the sky. Carol again soars over the clouds in pure bliss, completely ignoring her former masters down below. My God! No dream does it justice. Without realizing it, all of those attempts to fly had been training her, unlocking the dormant powers inside, the powers of her dreams, her visions of the other Carols. Carol lands on the highest point she can find, the peak of a mountaintop. Her friends, the birds she'd saved, come to her. Take care, guys. I'd come with you if I could, but the mud is still calling. Her eyes cast back down to the earth, to the life she'd left. Her joy fades, replaced by rage. I've got some sinners to hunt. The castle of the Phoenix is burning. The Hellfire Church has their rifles pointed toward the sky. Whatever it is, it's coming from the sky. A silhouette breaks through the smoke that's been covering the heavens. Carol soars to the ground and grabs her most vicious master. Together, they fly. Congratulations! Now you're a sinner too. Carol flies 1,000 feet up and lets him go. Enjoy it while it lasts. Carol was right. To fly is to fall. But really, all that matters is how you stick the landing. She perches herself onto the castle, watching the chaos down below. For the first time in probably ever, she's content. I guess now the only question is, where do I fly to next? Only one answer. Higher, further, faster. Carol flies as high as she possibly can. There are no more hunters down below. No one to shoot her down. She tests her limits, but she soon realizes she has none. So she goes up, 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 and whacks her head on some unseen object. It's a ship, the type of which she'd never seen before, a helicarrier. Carol climbs aboard, but she's quickly met with a small army of soldiers. At ease, people! She's one of us! A few of the soldiers lift her to her feet. Welcome aboard, Carol! We were just looking for you. Always best when one of us makes it herself. Nice going, kid. Carol looks around. These are all her. A dozen versions of Carol Danvers, each unique, but each unmistakably her. My visions! They were, yeah, I know. It sure is something, isn't it? The leader of the bunch is General Danvers, donning an Iron Man suit. She doesn't mince words. Carol is to report for training at 0800 tomorrow morning. Welcome aboard the Omni Carrier, new girl. Welcome to the Carol Corps. I was right. My visions were real. They were a calling, a call to war. And this time, I won't be fighting alone.